Welcome to the breakdown, episode 627. That's right, 627. Sponsored by Gemini. That's right. This is a Gemini commercial. Gemini.com/David G. Gemini.com/David G. Go ahead and take a look at the lineups. That's right. Take a look at the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer. That's right. You got the Bitcoin credit card, you got the XRP credit card, and you got the Solana credit card. And what I'm hearing, I think they said for the next few days it's 5%. I don't know. Just go to Gemini.com/David G and check it out. 4% back and purchase it, but might be 5 right now just for a few days. Go check it out again, Gemini.com/David G. Credit cards are issued by WebBank. Also, click on the link, ladies and gentlemen. Click on the link. If you have not signed up to Gemini yet, what are you doing? Click my link. New signees trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. There we go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Just want to see something. I really want to see something real quick. So you're gonna have to look at me for a few seconds. I want to see. Yeah, my holder count goes up and down, up and down, up and down. This shit is crazy, honestly. I'm testing something right now. Okay, you're gonna have to bear with me because I'm testing something right now. Let's see. Mm. I don't know if I'm a fan. I don't know if I'm a fan. I don't know if I'm a fan. But the show must go on. I can't be switching off cameras. It is what it is, man. I don't know if I'm a fan of this, man. Don't know. I'm a fan. I don't know if I'm a fan of this. Anyway, welcome to the breakdown episode one. Two. 1, 2. I'm so fucking focused on this new camera that I am off my game right now. But 627, the breakdown. Maybe I'm just tired from Peter's shift coming on here yesterday and going ape shit. Shout out to Peter. Shout out to Hunter for coming on yesterday. Yes, 627. That's right. And guess what right now is ripping? And that is Bitcoin. That's right. Bitcoin's at 89,934. Ethereum is up. Hold on. Let's see. Ethereum is up, ladies and gentlemen. Love to see it. I got everybody in the chat. Where the fuck is it? I got everybody in the chat right now correcting me and shit. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I'll go. You guys will hold on. You guys will hold on. I need to check something. I really do. I want to. I don't know if I should switch cameras or not. See, this is live. Ladies and gentlemen, this is live. Me thinking about shit as we are live on stream. What is going on here? What is going on? All right, hold on. Let me look. As we are live. No. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, that is true. Shout out to Landy. Congratulations. A lot of people are wearing suits now. All of a sudden, everybody's dressing up in suits. But you actually, what the fuck? Man. Damn it. Hold on. I want to see something. Hold on. Time out 1 second. Time out 1 second. Time out. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta check some. I don't know if why it's like off and stuff, man. Hold on. Is that better? I don't know if that's better. Look at this. I am doing the lighting right now while we are live, and that's okay because these are the kind of things that I fucking do. Like this is what I do, man. Hopefully the camera holds up as well. I gotta, I gotta check this again. Hold on. Nothing changed. Nothing fucking changed. The fuck? Why do I look different? Why do I look really good here, but like why don't but on live like I look like dog shit, man? What is happening? Like I look good here, but then I look no, fuck it. No. Oh my god. What is happening? I think I need to I think the old camera is better. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, fuck it. It is what it is. Anyway, fuck it. It is what it is. We're back. We're here. We're here. Okay, fuck it. I wasted so much time. I wasted so much time looking at myself right now to see how good do I look. But anyway, how good does the market look? The market looks fantastic. Again, let's refresh this here. Let's refresh. Almost at 90,000. At 90,000. At 90,000, ladies and gentlemen. The haters are going crazy. $90,000 Bitcoin, crazy. We got $3,000 Ethereum. We got 224 XRP. We got 900, almost $900 BNB. Solana's back at 141. All right. Again, I'm not getting excited. I'm not getting excited. I'm not getting excited at all. Not a bit excited. I want to see more green days. I said this. I said this when we started going upwards that I would like to see more green days. That's it. I'd like to see a lot more green before I personally get absolutely excited. Sir, we were told it would never. Here's Landy. Landy's gonna be in the chat saying "I told you so" kind of shit. So I have to kind of like ignore this right now. You know what? I'm more fascinated why my camera isn't working. Yes, thank you very much. I get it. Everybody's coming into this room and telling me that I absolutely look drop dead gorgeous. I get it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But like there's something off and I don't know. It's maybe the lighting. I don't fucking know. I'm trying to figure this whole shit out, man. I'm really trying to figure it out. It's bothering me. You could see. You can see it's really fucking bothering me. Oh my god, it is fucking bothering me. Anyway, I'm happy. I'm very happy. Okay. The market is slowly recovering. I am very fucking excited. Um, even if we go back down, honestly, it doesn't really matter to me because I already said this multiple times. Bitcoin is an asset that you acquire. It's a long-term asset that you acquire, and that's it. It's in 10 years' time, you will look back after acquiring a Bitcoin and you will say, "Thank God I did." It's one of those moments that you will look back and say, "Thank God I have one Bitcoin." Peter was on here. He said I should sell all my Bitcoin, and I don't think he's right. And I think Peter should get himself Bitcoin, and I will make sure that Peter does get Bitcoin because it's good. It's a good thing to have, especially that he no, he said he was 61 and he wants to, eventually pass down his wealth. And why not pass down one of the most electrifying, literally, one of the most electrifying assets of all time? And that is Bitcoin. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Bitcoin. That is Bitcoin. Peter, I don't want to fight with you, man. By the way, rumors and speculations of me and Mandani being somewhat related is unfound, not true. Okay, not related at all. I have no problem with bringing him on this show and having, you know, having a discussion. Obviously, we do not share the same views, but the first question will be absolutely 100%. You know, I could have won the election because number one, if people think we look like each other, well, I'm the better looking version, and I'm out here talking about real things. I think I win the election by a landslide. Okay, I think I win that election by a landslide. Where is everybody coming back? By the way, is everybody coming back to crypto? Are you guys coming back to crypto now? All your bearish fucking takes, where are you? Where are all you son of a bitches that were on the timeline acting like you work for JP Morgan or Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch? Dirty son of a bitches. You're on here screaming, saying that it's over, it's over, it's over. Where are you? Where is the bear camp? You're deleting your tweets. I see it. I see it. The people see it. You don't believe in nothing. Now you're getting back onto the timeline talking about we're so back. What's the next play? Shut your mouth. I hope you all get liquidated. How about that? I hope every single son of a bitch that went onto the timeline, flooding the timeline, talking about we're going back to $40,000 Bitcoin, $10,000 Bitcoin. I hope you get liquidated. I hope every single thing you have and you own gets liquidated. I hope you go to zero. I literally hope and I pray that you go to zero. That's how petty I am. Hope you go straight to zero. By the way, I forgot to retweet. I forgot to retweet my own goddamn show. Okay, and now people are calling me up saying that they don't have a link. Got it. Damn, I gotta tell you, man, looking at myself, I am gorgeous. There's no doubt about it. I am one handsome man, like 100%. When I'm looking at myself now, well, I have to retweet, bro. I have to retweet the goddamn show. Hold on. Bitcoin breaks. Anyway, I gotta send a link. Hold on. I gotta look at this. Look at this. I am doing everything by myself. Everything by myself. I got, you know what? I do have to hire. I need to hire an assistant. I need to hire an assistant. I can't do this anymore. I got so many people that want to come on the show. I'm fucking running back and forth and shit. I need an assistant. I need an assistant. I definitely need an assistant. I'm losing my mind right now. I need an assistant. I need an assistant. By the way, somebody put up a video. Who is the somebody? Jules clipped up my video and put it out there. Me talking about Moonshot. And again, it's not a shot at Moonshot. It's just me trying to understand how Moonshot goes about listing certain, certain memes, because that's what they list. It's it's just meme tokens from Solana. And I was just wondering, how does the listing process work? I wasn't taking shots. I actually said they have an absolutely phenomenal platform. I just want to understand how it all works, because you have a lot of phenomenal memes out there that are absolutely not on the application. So it's weird to me. I'm just trying to figure it out. That's it. I would love somebody from Moonshot to come on. This will be my second day saying to somebody from Moonshot to come on to the show. Let's just have a conversation. I'm not going to try to get you in an I got you moment. I just want you to come on so we can go ahead and have a convo about it. That's it. So again, at the end of the day, I just want to have a better understanding. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I don't know how things operate here. I've been here for a very long time. Everybody knows that. Okay, the real ones, the OGs know how long I've been here, but maybe I just don't understand what's happening. That's all. And I just need somebody to explain it. That's it. And we could put it to rest. And then the people would know. Literally, that's all I'm saying. The people would understand. The Rage community, the Wojak community, all these communities would understand why a lot of all these really dope ass memes would understand why they're not listed. You have to understand, like, you know, if people are looking up to Moonshot like this, you gotta go ahead and you gotta feel good about yourselves. If people are just like consistently adding Moonshot, the company, the application, the constantly saying, hey, knocking on the door, hey, let us in. That's a kind of like that's a huge compliment that people see you in such high regard. But what's the criteria that needs to be met? Because some of the things get on at $1 million, and like I said, they'll go up to 3 million, and then all of a sudden they're at zero within 72 hours. What is the criteria that Moonshot is looking for? Again, that's really all the public is asking. See, I know motherfuckers are gonna get mad at me because I'm saying this. Motherfuckers are gonna get mad at me because I'm saying this. Okay. I'm going out here and saying it for the people. The people are asking. They're asking me to ask you, so I'm asking. So don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger kind of shit, right? Don't do that. Everybody's great when they get flowers. Everybody loves the flowers, but everybody hates the heat, right? I stand in the kitchen all the time. And I'm in the kitchen for no reason at times, getting cooked. Okay, people trying to cook. Well, first of all, let me take that back. You motherfuckers can't cook me, but motherfuckers try to cook me, but I stand in the kitchen, man. I stand in the kitchen when I need to. All I'm saying is I'd love to know how the process works. Okay, that's all I'm asking. How does this process work? That's it. Simple. Simple. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 627, sponsored by Gemini, the good folks at Gemini. Man, they are really doing work out here. They're all over the goddamn planet, man. Shout out to them. We'll be right back, though. We have a guest coming on. We'll be back 1 minute, and we'll be talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin over $90,000. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, over 90. That's right. You're tuning into episode 627 of The Breakdown, sponsored by Gemini. Go to Gemini.com/David G to find out more about Gemini's lineup of credit cards issued by WebBank. That's right, issued by WebBank. 4% back, up to 4% back on your purchases on these credit cards. You can get it, if you get the Bitcoin credit card, you can get it in Bitcoin. To get the points, like I said, you can get it in Bitcoin. XRP credit cards get 4% back, up to 4% back at XRP. And Solana, the Solana card, get up to 4% back in Solana. Terms apply. Go look, Gemini.com/David G. Also, click the link, sign up to Gemini. If you don't have a centralized exchange, if you don't have a real centralized exchange, go sign up to Gemini. Use my link, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin, because a lot of you guys should have Bitcoin and you don't have Bitcoin, and that's pretty sad. We'll be right back in 20 seconds. Okay, we're back. Episode 627, The Breakdown. All right, we're gonna bring in a special guest here. Invited this man on. I see he hosts a lot of spaces, and I wanted to just get his take on Bitcoin. I see him out here battling the bears. I like that. I like battling the bears.
David, good to see you.
Hey,
How are you feeling today?
you still with me or is it mine? It's probably on me. Hold on one second.
Can
Let
you
me switch this up.
can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Okay, beautiful. How are you doing, David?
Good, good. There's an echo in the back. I don't know if you're playing the stream, but there's an echo in the back.
Nope,
You're not playing the stream?
not playing the stream.
Why is there an echo?
That's strange.
Okay. Well, we'll just have to go ahead and deal with that. How's it going, Joe?
It's going wonderful. It's going good. You know, obviously, I'm pretty excited about the price action today. You've got markets overall ripping across the board, including the SPY, Qs, Bitcoin back over 90,000. I mean, even gold's catching a bid here. Really, it's over, 41.50. Man, it's exciting. This was obviously a clean flush out of all this leverage and all the traders, and rinse and repeat. Now I think we could be back over 100K a lot quicker than people expect, which is exciting, right? And I think that's what we want to talk about today.
Absolutely. Did you ever have any thoughts that Bitcoin would go? I guess a lot of people are talking about $50,000 Bitcoin as of last week. That's all you heard on social media. Did you ever have any sort of feeling that Bitcoin would go ahead and touch those ranges?
Did I? No, I didn't see that even remotely possible. And there's a simple reason, because I view most of 2025 as a consolidation. I mean, if you look at it like this, we had a massive run in 2023, right? Coming out of the bear market lows. Then you had a big run with the ETFs and the Trump election in 2024. And then if you take Inauguration Day, where we were at, roughly 109, right? It was the all-time high at the time. People forget January 20th, 2025 was the all-time high. We then dipped back down for most of the year, first part of the year in April to the 70s. And then we rallied back. We made a new marginal high, I think in June, July, if I may, one of the two, June or July. And then we dipped, and then we rallied back and made a marginal high to 125-ish, 126. To me, that's a long consolidation. The whole year, which people were expecting this big explosive price action in alts and in meme coins and in Bitcoin, you basically had Bitcoin just sort of hold the line around 100K. You had weeks and months where we were just hovering over 100K, and that's very constructive, right? What I always learned, I had a mentor in markets who told me a long time ago that markets correct in two ways, David. They correct in price and they correct in time. And this entire year, the way I see it, is a long, protracted sideways consolidation around six-figure Bitcoin. You had to have people psychologically comfortable with that six-figure Bitcoin. And what we have going on now, just to set the table here, is right now we have a bunch of people who have bought into a sample size of 3, right, with this cycle theory, where they are scared and they're suffering through PTSD, and they think that there's going to be some massive collapse. But what I always say is, like, you can't have the collapse without the massive run up. Bitcoin, if you adjust for inflation, I think it would be roughly $83,000, the prior all time high in 2021. That was 4 years ago, right? So the notion that it's gone on some big epic run and has a ton of excess into it, I don't see that. Now, what has the excess, right? There is a ton of excess in strategy and in the treasury companies, the Bitcoin treasury companies. And what do you see with them? Some of those things are down 70, 80, 90%. I mean, the MSTR down more than 50%. That is a collapse. So to me, a lot of the dead wood, a lot of the excess, a lot of the hype is already drained. And now, as a sort of a savvy investor, I think you need to find good opportunities, deep value. To me, Bitcoin is incredibly deep value here at $90,000. I think it's way underpriced. And that's what it's attractive to people who have an open mind. Now, if you're stuck in dogma, if you're stuck in negativity and doomerism, you're not going to be able to make money. And unfortunately, we have a lot of those people on Twitter.
What do you think happened on 10/10, 2025?
Okay. Yeah. So you have to look at 10/10 in the context of the broader equity market. Okay. I think in the broader equity market, there was a sell-off that same day. And I think it's interesting because we have such a crypto focus or a Bitcoin focus that a lot of the times we turn off the TradFi markets, but TradFi was selling off very heavily there too. You had a lot of entities sort of really struggling, a lot of companies down significantly on 1010. That was sort of the beginning of this prolonged correction we've been working through for the last several weeks. What that does is it spills over into a marketplace that was uber leveraged. People were going into Q4 expecting these ripping markets. I mean, I couldn't find a single analyst who didn't expect a very, I mean, they called it October, right? They called it October that they were expecting a big move. So when the market's offsides, over leveraged, and you have all these offshore entities that have this liquidity pocket, this air pocket that I like to call, where when the TradFi market closed, when the CME futures closed, which are how many of the market makers hedge the Bitcoin market, you had a cascade of liquidations hitting most of the alts and Bitcoin and pushing everything down. And when you had that, I think there were books that were imbalanced. There were players that were off sides, and it took them weeks to work out of that. So you had this contagion event where TradFi sells off. Then you had this big cascade of liquidations right after the CME window closes on that. Was it a Friday? I think on Friday the 10th, right? And then what do you have? You have basically 3 weeks of us working through the leverage, people having to clean up their books. And there were definitely folks and funds that were offside, so they had to systematically sell over the coming weeks. And I think you work through that. I mean, I think that 80K bottom that we had a few days ago, to me, you can never say never. You can never say we can't retest it or head back down there. But the buyer stepped in. You've had a 10K bounce from there. That's not insignificant with a $1 trillion asset. So all that's positive for me. I mean, I tweeted at the time when the leverage flush out came on 1010 that my view was that there's nothing more bullish than cleaning out all the leverage. If you clear out all the leverage, it makes it a lot easier for the market to actually rise long term in a sustainable way. If you have a market that's imbalanced, overwhelmingly bullish, it's very hard for that market to rise. Just think about it, like, because everybody's positioned long. It's like everybody's on one side of the boat. The boat flips over. That's kind of how I see it.
What do you think about these TA guys? I saw you going after some of the TA guys, and I think it was a video. I think you were going after TA guys.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
what
okay.
you and the TA guys out here or I should say, you post mostly on X, right? So,
Yeah.
uh, what's your stance with the TA guys that were calling for certain numbers?
I mean, to me, the male astrology, I think, meme sort of holds true for TA, right? Like, I don't discount entirely that it has no value. To be clear, the way I look at it, if you talk to serious people, and I studied TA for years. I mean, I was studying TA in high school. Um, what it will tell you is that there's certain repeating patterns. There are probabilities, right? And I'm a poker player, so the way I look at it, like when I have pocket aces, right? Those aces are going to get cracked a certain period of time every time I play, and the odds of them getting cracked go up with more players in the hand, right? The reason I bring that as an analogy is, like, if I show you a pattern and I say, okay, this pattern tends to hold true 40% of the time or 50% of the time, that I buy. What I don't buy, and what irritates the hell out of me, is these people go online and they'll draw a line, and it isn't even probabilistic. It isn't even based on back testing or any sort of real strong probability. It just says, well, here's a line, and if this line breaches, we go to this line right here. That's not scientific. That's not convincing. And even if they're right, okay, a broken clock's right 2 times a day. So it doesn't mean anything. Like, it's lines on a chart, and TA does not tell the future. All it tells you is higher probabilities of certain things happening. Now, if you want to say, well, because we breached this moving average, it's a higher probability of going lower. Yeah, that's I guess I'll buy that. But the guys that come out with crystal balls and they tell you this is going to be certainty, and I know this is going to this level, they're mostly charlatans. They're mostly people who play games to try to get followers and get influencers. And what they do is they tend to hurt a lot of people. I mean, I was very bullish at over 100K. Okay. And obviously we dumped to 80, right? But I was bullish at 80K, and I'm bullish now at 90K. The
I mean, for
TA
me, it doesn't
people,
matter what the price is when it comes to Bitcoin. I buy at whatever levels
right.
possible.
And quite
Do you think the
honestly,
TA guys were right when they were calling for lower? When let's say some of us were calling for higher?
Right. I think they were right. Okay, but well, like I said, what does that mean? I mean, to me, that you have to balance out the 2 or 3 times they're right with the 15 times they're wrong. Because I saw charts in back in April when we were at 70K, people talking about 50K, and then I saw charts in the early summer where people were saying Bitcoin was peaking out again. We were going to roll over in July. Okay, so for every time they're right, there's tons of times they're wrong. So how is that useful to the retail investor? And the thing that I really wanted to talk about on this podcast, and I think it's sort of a problem in the broader crypto space, and even in Bitcoin, is that when I first got involved in Bitcoin, and I don't know how long you've been involved in the space at all, but there was this idea that so sort of this was an asset for retail. It was an asset that people would come in and they could actually benefit and enrich their financial standing, and they could be able to outperform traditional finance assets through the S&P or index assets. We got away from that. There's a lot of manipulative behavior. There's a lot of predatory behavior, particularly in the meme coin space, which is, I think, repulsive. And that's why I admire a lot of the groups that are talking about things like, let's stop trading. Let's actually focus on something. Let's focus on community and efforts. That stuff appeals to me. And the reason it appeals to me is because it's sort of a broader, sort of like we're all going to make it type philosophy. And instead of the sort of sniping, the trench warfare, the PvP, as they say, type mentality that you have in a lot of these names, Bitcoin is an asset where I think, like you said, it I can't tell you with certainty what Bitcoin's going to be next week or the week or 2 weeks from now or 2 months from now. What I can tell you though is Bitcoin has a high probability of going higher over time because of how it's constructed. And that's the most important thing for a regular person to understand. It's not just about maximizing your return on capital, because you can go gamble and you could have a huge winner there. That's not really telling you anything. It's about risk adjusted return. If you're an investor, you have to make a risk. What is the risk I'm taking for the potential return? To me, I think Bitcoin offers an incredible asymmetric return.
You don't think that Dogecoin brought a ton of new Bitcoiners to Bitcoin?
It absolutely did. I mean, I actually admire. I've said this for 2 years now. Okay, when meme coins were coming on the scene, I admire meme coins way more than the VC junk that's being perpetrated. And to be quite honest, like I've helped advise from a legal standpoint some of these tokens. I've seen it. Know how the unlocks work. I know how it's disadvantageous for folks that are coming in. They think they're buying XYZ coin, and XYZ coin is going to put bananas on a blockchain. It's going to have all these great use cases. I actually admire the fact that some of the meme coins come out and they say, look, we don't purport to do anything, David. We purport to have an asset where we're trying to instill a community with a common goal and a common purpose. And to me, that is far more attractive. Okay, I'm not saying I'm buying every meme coin in sight, but that's far more attractive than the idea of we're going to scam retail and people that don't understand what a blockchain is and don't understand the tech, and then we're just going to unload our VC pre-issued, pre-minted tokens on people that are unsuspecting at the right time to opportunistically extract money from them. That is a cancer on the current crypto space. That's why I think most of the tech alts have not done anything this entire cycle. They've sat and gone lower month after month.
There, to me, like I'm a Bitcoiner. I've been here for a decade plus. So when you ask, like, I don't know how long you've been here. I've been here a while. I went on mainstream media. I talked about Bitcoin, but I also said that Dogecoin did bring in more people
Yeah.
into Bitcoin, and nobody and the data. You don't have to like me, but the data. Like if you look at the data, it's there. You know, was AM it's your speakers, by the way, that echo was coming from. I just figured it out. Um, but what I want to say is that at the end of the day, that's what it was. It was Dogecoin, and there are a lot of meme tokens that at the end of the day push people to Bitcoin. So there are memes that are being built by people um, with honest intentions. Yes, there are zombie tickers, and their only goal is to extract. 100% agree with that. The utility tokens that you talk about, I like like there is a place. Like here's my argument with Bitcoiners. There is a place for this stuff. Like Bitcoin, everybody should get Bitcoin. But like Ripple, if they want to deal with the banks and they want to produce a product that helps the banking system, great. That's not Bitcoin's problem. For me personally, I don't know why people are so gun ho and happy about, the banks accepting Bitcoin. Ever since I came into Bitcoin, the whole goal was to get away from the institutions and the banks. Am I right?
I think that was the original goal. I think that
Now
isn't the goal now.
Now we have Bitcoin Maxi celebrating the event. And that leaves me confused. It's like, this is not what I was taught. This is not what Voorhees, Shrem, I can name them all out. Roger, none of these people were saying we got to go ahead and align with banks and institutions. It's a decentralized space. Anybody can come in here and they can buy. That's fine. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to cheer them on as they come in here. People that have been dogging us and calling Bitcoin rat poison. If you've been here long enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Me rolling out the red carpet for these people, I can care less. Now I'm going to get hit with the liquidity issue and say, well, the liquidity that they bring in, it makes Bitcoin great. I was fine waiting another 10 to 20 years and having Bitcoin grow on its own. Like, that's how I feel, though. That's my perspective on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not just gains for me. Like, Bitcoin literally has given multiple people an opportunity to finally understand what the fuck money is. Like that's what it means to me. It's freedom as well. Besides it's freedom. It's like real freedom. And being unbanked and nobody can close. I got my bank account closed by Chase in 2018 and on New Year's because I went ahead and made a transaction with Coinbase. Like, Bitcoin means a lot to me. But I think we can also have, like, we talk about the crypto ecosystem, then that's more than just Bitcoin. Am I right on that, Joe?
You're right. I differentiate the things. So let me unpack a few things, and I think I can mute my mic, and that prevents the echo. So sorry about that. It must have been distracted. Here's the thing. Let's go back for a second. Bitcoiners have a different incentive, I think, at this point than they did in the early days. In the early days, it was a anarcho project, right? That you wanted to free money from the state and you wanted to completely disintermediate and have peer-to-peer electronic cash. And honestly, it was far more ideological. As you've attracted more audiences, that has diluted the message, right? And the message now, I think, is how do we make this an asset that fits into everyone's portfolio? Now, there's a trade-off with that, right? If you want to go mainstream and you want to bring in trillions of additional dollars, and the Bitcoiners that have huge piles of Bitcoin, they want to see that Bitcoin get to $1 million or $2 million a coin, you dilute the message. I think many are already doing this and they're making this sacrifice. And I'm not advocating for this. I'm just saying this is a reality. They're diluting the message to make it more palatable for a retail audience, for traditional investors. They can talk about it like a digital gold and talk about it less scary, right? To some of these people, it's not separating money from the banks. It's bringing Bitcoin into the banking system, right? It's actually assimilating the banking system in that way. So I think it was natural to think that if we're going to scale to 8 billion people and we're going to incorporate in mainstream traditional finance, you're going to soften that message. Okay. Now that's Bitcoin, right? And that's where we're at with Bitcoin. So then you have another pile. You've got the VCs, which you alluded to, the Ripples, the Cardanos, the Solana, the Ethereum. They're trying to do something very different. I think they're in their minds, they right or wrong. And again, I'm not advocating for any of this stuff. I'm just trying to be objective. They're trying to say, how do we create some system or platform that will be used? Some of them want to be used by TradFi. Some want to remain more retail focused. Some of them want to have a use case and something that's attractive. But that secondary bucket, okay, that is, in my mind, sort of closer to the launch of a company. You're really trying to create a platform or a company that can service transactions and provide various utilities, okay? I don't particularly find that very attractive. I don't. We can debate about that, and I tell you why. Then there's the third bucket, which I think is a real distinct development, really post Dogecoin, which is the launch of these online digital communities, really in the form of meme coins. And I think those meme coin things are offering really nothing other than the fact that you can join the community, you can share similar ideals, and that is dissimilar from the VC launches in a material way. So I find that to be far more interesting than the second bucket for a variety of different reasons. Most notably, that I think the second bucket is really controlled by VCs and insiders and the privileged, and that is not retail friendly. I mean, most.
Yeah. You know what it is, Joe? I spoke to Peter. Peter was on yesterday, Peter Schiff. I've spoken to Grant Cardone's, and I had a lineup of people who are getting, besides Peter Schiff, that are getting into Bitcoin, but they had a hard time getting into Bitcoin because of the messaging. And I've always said this. I said that Bitcoin's marketing was terrible.
Doesn't
It's
have any
always-
marketing. It has a bunch of different random voices advocating for it.
But the way it's explained by the random voices, it's terrible. Up until now, like up until maybe now, it's gotten better.
I think it's
But
still
before-
terrible. It's still terrible.
But it's better than it was before. If you go back 7, 8, 9 years ago, it was horrible. Like now it's better. Like you have more people. Let's say the Grant Cardones, whatever, Gary's in the mix. Now you have a bunch of people that can name that are not going to scream at Mark Cuban when he comes into an X space and he's asking about the asset and what it is, and he's getting screamed on and made fun of. I was there. I was watching it.
I was too.
11,000 people in a room. You have Mark Cuban, a billionaire, who's asking about the asset and he's being dogged. And then when he mentions Dogecoin, he's getting ripped. I mean, we don't do a good, if we want people to come in here and value Bitcoin, we got to do a better job from that standpoint, which then won't lead to the other things being created. Because then, like, we start bitching Bitcoin only. If you don't know it, go learn about it. That's not going to entice anybody to spend $90,000 to acquire a Bitcoin. So they're going to go off seeking, and they're going to end up finding themselves in a protocol, a VC-backed protocol, which they get into. And then when they come back into the room and say, hey, well, I got into XYZ. Why did you get into XYZ? That's a total dog shit. I've heard this stated before. But you screamed that person who wanted to know about Bitcoin out of the goddamn room. And this goes back to Clubhouse and everything.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. When a person buys an asset, do you think they buy it because of fundamentals, or do you think they buy it because they think numbers going to go up?
I think most people that come into this space, number goes up. That's 100%, Joe. Nobody's thinking about fundamentals of anything.
Correct. So the reason why I think it's a difficult sell, and this is, I'm just being honest here, and I say this as a Bitcoiner, okay? The reason Bitcoin is a more challenging sell is if you're a guy who's out there and you're struggling to make ends meet, and you have two options. You can throw your $1,000 into Dogecoin, which could 5x a lot easier than Bitcoin, which Bitcoin can 5x, but it's probably going to take, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years at minimum to 5x from here.
Yeah, but Joe, that's the guy you'd tell, take your $5,000, put it into Bitcoin, and keep your job. That's what you say to them.
I'm with you, but they're gonna
cold hard. You do what your parents used to do, right? Tell you the truth.
Yeah,
son, you need to keep your job and maybe get another one. But if you got 5,000, put it into Bitcoin.
I'm with you, and that's what I tell them. I do it every time, but I'm illustrating the problem. The problem is that people come into the space because the number go up, and they will be chasing the highest, most volatility laced coin they can find. They can find whatever's moving, literally, and that's why they get fleeced. And there are smart people in the space that know this, and they promote all sorts of areas. Every month, it's a new coin that's moving. I mean, Aster this month, it's this coin that month. It changes literally on a daily basis, right? That is fleecing retail, okay, as opposed to a buy and hold strategy. And the problem with Bitcoin, I think, and it's not really a problem, it's just a reality, it's a challenge it faces, is that when you have a lot of retail people, they just look at the 100K price and they say, oh, I'm just priced out. I don't have a chance to buy that. So I'm going to go. I
think most of them, honestly, Joe, most of them that I speak to, they don't know that you can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, even in 2025. That's our biggest problem, that they don't know that they can put it on auto, have it every week, take out $500 and buy up $500 worth of Bitcoin. That's our biggest challenge.
Yeah. Well, and getting them to do that consistently, because what we know is they come in. I mean, have you ever thought about this, David? Have you ever thought about how somebody actually decides to make their first crypto investment? What do you think leads a regular retail person to go make their first crypto buy in general?
I don't know.
I do.
Honestly,
I do.
I think mainstream media does a lot of work right now to push a lot of people into Bitcoin to make their first purchase.
From a sociological perspective, what in and I've had dozens of conversations like this across the years from many different people who bought their first. They know so and so who made a boatload of money on Dogecoin, or they know so and so made a boatload of money on Bitcoin. They go talk to that person. They say, "Hey, I want to get in because this thing's going up. I just read a news article. It just broke 100K. I'm going to throw some money at it." And that story repeats millions of times over. And that's generally how most people make it. They see a fast moving object, they see somebody who's made money, their friend, and they say, "I want to be that guy," and they go and do it. So this
It
is why
should.
bull markets happen, right? Bull markets happen because markets go up very quickly. They see somebody making money. Your neighbor says, "I want to come into the space and I want to bid that thing," just like Joe did, or just like David did.
I
So
just at the end of the day, I think there's a place for everybody. Like, you know what? You don't want to participate in the other cryptocurrencies, utility projects, the chain links, whatever it is. You don't want to participate in that. You don't have to. If you're a Bitcoiner, you don't even have to look that way. I think the message. I think Bitcoin is really outside of that bubble. So like nothing from this side of the fence is affecting Bitcoin. There really isn't anything that's affecting Bitcoin. That this is where we want to talk about institutions. Institutions are looking straight at Bitcoin. So
Well,
they're
well, the
not.
Bitcoiners think it is. The Bitcoiners see that all these other things as a liquidity drain on capital that should be flowing into Bitcoin.
But then, like
That's
Peter
their
Schiff
thought.
says, like, well, you guys are doing the same thing, right? Again, my conversation with him is like, well, it's nothing more than a Ponzi scheme. Like, and I'm if anybody wants to replay it, I'm going back and forth and having that conversation, and I can say the same thing about gold, right? Or I can say that about any asset. I'm not. Uh, look, Joe, I'm not championing for every asset in the space. I don't think we need 25 million cryptocurrencies. I am. If you watch my shows, like I am absolutely not for launch pads, making it easier for anybody to deploy contracts. I know it's a decentralized space. I get it. But I'm all for people really actually building some really cool tech that'll actually solve a real use case that we have out here. Okay. Because Bitcoin,
Has that happened yet in your mind?
I think a few of them have, but not 25 million. 90, 98% of this stuff is pure dog shit. 98% of it is pure dog shit. So you won't find me backing any of these things. I love memes. I think it's like trading cards. I think they don't really, the real memes. I'm not talking about these zombie tickers that last for 24 hours to milk people and drain people. I think they're a real, like, historical kind of 4chan type of memes like Pepe and things like that, where like these
What
are
about
real memes
SPX 6900?
like that also. I love SPX, and I think it's cool. Listen, I think it's cool. Like I'm not saying invest 100% of your net worth into it. I'm just saying you can dabble in it, have some fun, socialize. If it goes up, it goes up. It goes down, it goes down. It has no intrinsic value, zero. I say allocate, most of your, you
What
know,
what why does an asset need to have intrinsic value? I don't. Coming from a Bitcoiner like yourself, why would an asset need intrinsic value?
no, I said that memes have no intrinsic value.
Yeah, but I don't view that as a problem. I don't see why is that a
To me, it's like, but they like it is what it is. It's like there's nothing to it. It's just a picture that's been put on a chain, and that's it, on a contract, and that's all it is. So like, hopefully people don't go into. But that's when you come in with your conversation. You say, well, my friend Joe made you know $1 million in 4 days by going into XYZ Inu or something, and that's why people come in here looking for that gain. And I understand that. I'm just saying when I speak about this subject, I love memes, but I love the real memes. I don't love these made up dog shit memes that come out here and just completely destroy lives. I would just tell people your ultimate goal here is to collect as much Bitcoin as possible. If you have money that you're not utilizing, Bitcoin is the way to go. I understand you see 90,000, you don't have $90,000, or maybe you have $90,000. It doesn't look sexy to go ahead and just buy one Bitcoin, but long term, it's definitely the right decision to go ahead and make. It's kind of like buying a medallion in New York City when medallions were like at $25,000 and they went all the way up to 2.6 million. Don't want to compare the two, but I'm just saying in terms of the value, the value is essential. I think Bitcoin just changes the game entirely, uh, and I'm super passionate about it. But I also feel that at the same time, we don't do a great job bringing people into the mix. Like
Well, the problem is it's confusing. I mean, you outlined the problem right there. You just said 98% of the stuff is dog shit, right? So in that environment where 98% is worthless, if you're a retail person, how do you even navigate that? How do you come in with 25 million coins and figure out what's real and what's not? What are you
well,
looking at?
honestly, I sat back. ETFs are really, the retail buyer gets to like like retail with money. They avoid that problem by going straight into ETFs. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I agree.
So you get that. They don't have to, and they're not going to make a wallet anyway, right? These are the kind of the people like that were also kind of spooked about emails and stuff. So you have them, that retail, by the way, hasn't even hit this cycle, if you want to call it a cycle. Me and Hunter, we were talking about this yesterday from Bitwise. Like, I don't believe there is a cycle anymore. But you have an older generation that's going there. The retail that does come in here, again, like we have to do a better job of breaking down what Bitcoin is and why we personally believe in it and why we got into it. And after that, like that's up to them to decide whether or not they want to participate with real value or if they want to go ahead and take their chance on the lottery. We can't stop people from gambling on horses, right? They're going to go to the OTB regardless. I can tell you, don't bet on horses. You're going to go out and bet on horses. You're going to go get a lottery ticket because you think you're going to win, Powerball, which is right now at 700, million dollars. I can't stop you. But before you go, I can tell you where the real value is. Maybe keep your job because it's valuable and take money that can scrape up on the side and put it into a real asset. That's my only messaging that can go ahead and provide you.
No, it's good stuff. I mean, I think the ETFs are wonderful for new people coming in, and I do think that there's opportunities for us to sharpen the messaging. The sharpest factor you have to tie into Bitcoin, I think, if you're trying to emphasize it, is the decentralization, because the vast majority of the tech alts are centralized. That's just a fact, and we run into this time and time again. There are very few legit. I mean, I guess there's the layer one stuff you could talk about, but very few projects out there that don't have compromised centralization relative to Bitcoin. And that's to me is the single thing you got to get home to retail.
Honestly, I you'll never hear me fighting with you about Bitcoin. I could tell you some of the things I think we can do better with Bitcoin on, but you'll
What's
never
that?
hear me say. There's a lot of things I think we can do a lot better. A lot. It's a longer conversation. Love to invite you back for that. But definitely, there are things within Bitcoin that can be better. Like it's true. It just can be better. I think also, speaking of memes, Dog on Bitcoin is going to do a wonderful job with bringing in the 18 to 35-year-old crowd into Bitcoin too. 100%. I'm not a part of the team, nothing like that, but I watch the way they work and I watch their passion for Bitcoin. I think they're going to be a huge asset for the Bitcoin protocol, like 100%, and moving forward. So,
Well, I
uh,
admire you as a Bitcoiner, not belittling all these things, because you have to remember what it was like coming in. And I think a lot of the elder statesmen of Bitcoin, they tend to belittle things like dog on Bitcoin and SBX and these things. So
why they just brought more attention to Bitcoin? Like anything that brings more attention to Bitcoin, it's going to just allow us to go level up. I mean, like what? That's my whole point, Joe. Like I hate the fact, and I know you have to go, but I hate the fact that I'm not saying you do. There are plenty of people that come on and like they talk about Bitcoin and they talk about the macro and what it's going to do, the future of Bitcoin and why Bitcoin. Those are interesting conversations. Those are the conversations I could sit and listen to. I don't need to even be a part of the studio panel. I could just sit back and just listen, and I enjoy listening. Two ears, one mouth. You learn something, okay? Because you don't know everything. No matter, I've been here 13, 14 years. I don't know everything. I sit back and I continue to listen, right? When you walk into rooms that just say go fuck off and go learn about it yourself, that hinders the growth of Bitcoin and that leads people into getting into these other protocols that we're talking about. And then you're fighting with them to get them into Bitcoin, but that's their first, for a person first walking into crypto, that asset XYZ is their first asset and they're not letting go of it. Like that to them is their Bitcoin. And now you got to tell them why they're in a shitty asset and why they need to really study and get into Bitcoin and even help them out to show them that Bitcoin ultimately 10 years from now will be at that $1 million mark. But besides the money point, it's going to just revolutionize the world, and we'll be talking in satoshis and not in Bitcoin. So
I completely agree, and I think, if I host a space, I don't try to reject people just because they hold a different asset or have a different view on this stuff. I like to welcome all those voices. So if you ever come into my space, you're always welcome to talk
no,
about those things.
you're one of the spaces. You, Gary, you're one of the spaces where there's macro talk. There's actually talk about Bitcoin, the product, Bitcoin, the asset, rather than go fuck yourself. I made it. You guys can go do whatever the fuck you want. That, that's what, to me, that's one of the things that hurt the asset. And before you go, Grant said something. When you're just preaching to the choir, at some point you have to get out the church and start talking to new people, and not just talking to the same, having the same session with the same
Yeah,
cipher.
there's a quote that I'll leave you with that when you're preaching to the congregation
Yeah, there you
and
go.
the converted, right? That's how you expand the flock. That's how you grow the. When you're preaching to the choir, your main focus should be how do you make the choir sing better? Okay, when you're
Correct.
talking to Bitcoiners, you should say how do you talk about this asset more? We have that. You have to have a conversation where you're trying to make the choir sing better, trying to make Bitcoiners talk about the asset in a better way, and then you need to convert the people that are uninitiated. So they're two different things.
Listen, before, and I appreciate you coming on, Joe.
Yeah,
But no matter how much I might not like Warren Buffett, he's not screaming at people. He's
right.
like, do whatever the fuck you want, but I think these are the assets that I like. And like that's the way we can approach it too. That's really it.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure,
Eh,
David. Happy to come back
Pleasure.
on anytime.
Thank you so much, Joe. Guys, tune into Joe. Give Joe a follow. Joe, appreciate you coming on today.
Take care. Bye now.
That was Joe. And next up, we have after this commercial break from Gemini, we'll have NFT Kid. That's right. Keith, one of my favorites, man. We haven't had a podcast. This actually we might have had a podcast. I don't know. But stay tuned. We'll go ahead and talk, all right? Right back after this commercial break with Gemini. And again, this program is sponsored by Gemini, episode 627, sponsored by Gemini. And of course, again, for some goddamn reason, I am having technical difficulties. So if you see me steering off to the left, that's me looking at the other monitor and not disrespecting my guests. I love my guests. I love anybody who comes on this highly rated show. That's right. I'm cocky about it. That's right. I'm cocky, a little bit cocky about it, but I deserve to be cocky about it. All right. Welcome back. Where the fuck is this, man? Welcome back to the breakdown. What the hell? Welcome back. Welcome back. We'll bring Keith on in a second. I want to do Keith right, though, because we can't be disrespectful out here. We got to go ahead and put Keith's name out here because Keith's joining us right now. Keith, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, David? How you doing?
Good, man. You getting ready for what are you fighting again, right?
Yeah, I'm fighting December 5th. So it's in like less than 2 weeks. So not this Friday, but next Friday.
Why does it feel like you're fighting every like 3 weeks? Like, why do I feel like every single time I come on the timeline, you're beating somebody's ass?
Yo, once I got like the fight itch in me, I know that I have to keep the momentum. So I'm like, I've been trying to take as many of these fights as I can. And I want to get like a big fight. I want to get like one of these big Jake Paul, Andrew Tate type of fights and make some good money. And then coach, relax, do crypto, smoke more weed, hang out, and, enjoy life.
Tell me, before we get into it, do you have a billboard? Like, is that a real billboard that you pass by every day that you put up your, like, is that a billboard that you paid for that you park your car by every single, like, fucking day, I think, or some shit and take a picture to say good morning to the crowd?
So if you want me to tell, there's like kind of a whole story with it. But basically back in the day, me and this girl broke up, and it was right when I was doing a lot of crypto stuff. It was like 2021, and I was like heavily into crypto, heavily into Dogecoin, and she just wasn't into it. So we ended up like breaking up. And then I made some good money. I did all kinds of things. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking onboard people in my hometown. I'm going to put a billboard in my hometown in front of this girl's gym just to kind of be like, she kind of made fun of me about the crypto thing. She didn't think she thought it was very nerdy and dorky for a fighter. That's what she told me. She's like, for a fighter, it's pretty nerdy and dorky for you to be into crypto. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to get a fucking billboard. I could use it for promo. I just like listed all the reasons why I should do it. And then I did it. It was only for 3 months. So it was back in Marietta, California, in my hometown. And it was all from Dogecoin profits. So it was good times. Good times.
All right. Tell me how you fucking got into crypto. And I hate asking this fucking question, but I don't know how you got in. You're a fighter, okay? Like you're busy fighting. Obviously, you're a good fighter as well. You're not some just random Joe Schmo who picked up the gloves and just does this as a hobby. You're a real fighter. You've been fighting out here. How the fuck do you stumble into you said Dogecoin, but how do you stumble into crypto in general?
Yeah, so I've been into crypto kind of on and off since like 2017, but when COVID hit, I was working at a weed distribution facility that me and my friends in California, we literally built during COVID. And then, I mean, the weed industry was booming. So I just had extra money. I was investing into coins and investing into things. I got into Dogecoin. I was already kind of into Dogecoin, and I really didn't have that much, but I made about maybe like 60K when Dogecoin took like a big hit. And then for me as like a kind of a broke fighter, like I'll make 10 grand for a fight, 15 grand. And then I got to pay this person, that person, months of training. There's a lot of expenses. So but it's something I love. So I've always like fought for a while, but yeah, when that came, like Dogecoin kind of saved me, and I got heavily into it, made some money, and then kind of invested more into NFTs, got hardcore into NFTs, supporting people, kind of just growing on Twitter. I had like, when I was fighting actively, like in the UFC, I had like 3,000 followers. And then when I started collecting NFTs and getting into crypto, my followers went up to like 150,000 followers, and then now I'm at like 223,000. But like this was all crypto people, so I felt like it gave me so much more like spirit for fighting again. And it got like, yeah, I have all these people behind me. I literally have more people behind me with my fights with my crypto people than I did when I was fighting with the biggest organizations when I was on TV, because I was like kind of like a journeyman. You know, I had some good fights and then I would lose a fight, and then I had some good ones, and so I was always right there. But having a couple of years, having some money to train a lot, and now I'm just doing boxing, and boxing is like it's my favorite. So I've been thriving. I've been doing really well, and yeah, that's how I got in. So I got introduced basically through COVID. I started really getting heavily into Dogecoin. I did a tweet about Mike Tyson with like these Dogecoin glasses, and then he retweeted me, followed me, and then he would like tweet me here and there. So then I think that was another reason I kind of blew up. I ended up meeting him, smoking weed with him in LA, and then I have like a bunch of content from that. So yeah, crypto has been like a life-changing thing for me. You know, it's really like, man, I used to fight for my first fight when I was 18 years old in 2005. I fought for $25 to show, $25 to win. So $50 in Mexico, in Baja, Mexico. I had to pay my trainer $100 to go down there with me. So I literally got paid nothing, but it was like an amateur fight. I had to get my my feet wet, as they say. But yeah, so I'm just very grateful. I've seen a lot in crypto. I heard you were talking about scams and stuff earlier. So I definitely try to like keep the people I'm around like vigilant about the scams. But me, like crypto was kind of like my hero that brought me back my fighting, brought me back finances, and just put me in like a really good spot.
Because I've been around for a while, and I've obviously I've seen you come in. I think around 2020ish, when COVID hit. I've seen you probably in the Dogecoin rooms as well, in the Dogecoin kind of community where it was absolutely fucking crazy.
So fun.
And I honestly, so I guess we're going on almost 6 years. No, I haven't heard a bad word said about you, and that's pretty good in crypto, right? Like, because everybody calls everybody a fucking scammer and this, that, and a third, man. Like, everybody's a fucking scammer, even Satoshi Nakamoto. Bottom line, so it's just like that's it. Like the word itself is so watered down, it's ridiculous, and it's fucked up because there are real scammers out here, and now scammer doesn't even apply anymore.
Yeah.
But what do you like? When we'll get into your fight game too, but like, what are you building out here? Like, what are you now out here building?
So I kind of, my whole fight name when I was growing up was Knockout Kid. I got a bunch of like fast knockouts. I would like, it was basically because I was scared. So I would want to end the fight as fast as I could because I was so nervous. But I kind of changed my name to NFT Kid since I got into crypto, and I'm really passionate about like building NFT communities. So I've helped a lot of communities sell out. I've been involved in a lot of things, but I recently started my own thing. It's called Kushlings. It's on Ethereum. It's an NFT collection. We launched it like the worst time. So right when all the deleveraging was happening, we were launching. So, but we sold out. We sold out last week, and a lot of help. Actually, from a mutual friend, Leslie, she came on. She was in the sellout party. My friend Gina, just a lot of cool people came together at the end and helped me sell it out. But basically, it's this alien project. So I'm like passionate about aliens and conspiracies. And then it's like a fighter alien that smokes weed. So instead of Earthlings, it's Kushlings. So those are like all the things I'm passionate about: weed, NFTs, and fighting. So
you think NFTs are going to make a comeback?
Yo, you know what? I'll be honest with you because everyone just fucking bullpost hard. I hope so. I really do. But I'll refer back to this, and it goes back to like a social proof. I think a lot of people, even people that are very bearish about NFTs, those are the guys that have an NFT as their profile picture. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big thing on crypto, especially. And then not only that, I just think that with these communities and some of the things they could do with just purely NFTs, that they'll make their way. And I don't think all these Bored Apes and the Mutant Apes and Azukis and all these different big projects, I don't think all the tech and all the community aspect of that is going to go away. Things might change. Obviously, like everything is not going to be the same the same time around. But one thing that you know and I know about these meme communities, coins, is that if you build a strong community, a really strong diamond-handed believers, it has to be cult-like. You know, people that they wake up every day and they think about what can I do to grow my community? What can I do to help? And then they go to their job and then they do what they're doing. And then they come back home and they check, oh, what can I do again? So you have 100 of those type of people in your community. You guys can branch out and really build things and make things happen. So I have a little roadmap about what I want to do. It's on Cushlings.com, and it's just like a very basic roadmap. But one of the things I'll just mention real quick is I collected art from a lot of artists. That's how I got a big following really quick, is because I would literally just collect art from artists all over the world. So what I did with this project, all the royalties go to an artist fund. So it's called the KB sponsorship. And then we give that money to either to them directly if they really need it, or we buy their art with all that money. So right now, I think the royalties are up to about $1,000, and it's between two people. So that's $500 to two different artists that have some new paint money, have some new music money. Well, one of them's a music artist and one of them's an oil painter. But I love like supporting artists around the world. I feel like a lot of people in America, sometimes they're not as like, I gave people like a lot of things, and I feel like people abroad really do appreciate things a little more, you know. So I've been happy to kind of pick some really cool international artists to kind of spotlight and be part of what I'm doing, you know. I have an artist contest right now. So with my project, we're doing a big artist contest. Well, first place gets like some prize money, and yeah, it's a whole thing. So
My last question to you, Keith, because I want to, because you said something earlier about wanting to get to the point where you can fight like a Logan Paul or I guess Jake Paul and stuff like that.
yeah.
Has anybody reached out to you about having one of these type of fights? Has, like, let's say, I would even say, has Jake Paul's camp reached out to you by any chance?
No. I've tried to train with him, but it was kind of like conflicting times because he trains a lot in Puerto Rico. But okay, so here's a cool thing. I'm managed by this company called PG Sports. They really haven't gotten me any fights yet, but one of the guys that they got to fight is they got Andrew Tate to fight against this guy Chase Damore, and he's fighting Andrew Tate in Dubai December 20th. So they actually put my name in the hat for that. So he turned down me. The other guy, honestly, it looks better on paper for him than to fight me. I'm like a veteran. I've had a lot of fights in MMA. I'm more of like a fighter. This other guy is like a kind of like a reality star that learned how to box, and he's been like beating up some people. But yeah, my name was in the hat for that. So what I intend to do is December 5th, I want to go put on a good performance in Dubai. I'm staying in Dubai. Andrew Tate's fighting on the 20th, so I want to watch him fight and try to like, you know, rub necks with people, or rub necks, you know, rub elbows with people. Yeah. And you know, make some connections, and then hopefully I can get one of those big fights. I mean, it doesn't have to be Andrew Tate or Jake Paul, but it could be some big influencer coming up or something on these big shows on like a Jake Paul, Andrew Tate like fight card, you know, and I could make, you know, I want to make $1 million from one fight. I feel like that's when I want to be like, all right, I'm done as a prize fighter. I want to be a coach. I want to kind of share the knowledge and just do crypto, you know, and I think, yeah, I'm on the right path. You know, I've been following the path.
I think you are. I think you found your niche here in the crypto space, and I feel like crypto is going to kind of help you launch in and get that fight that you're looking for. Honestly, it's kind of funny how that works, right? You came into crypto,
but you know,
expected like your fight career to come back due to crypto.
Yeah, but you know what's also so funny is MMA fans are brutal, and they're just like they kind of suck, honestly, and they're very, very fickle, and they forget about the good times and they always remember the bad. But I do know this about crypto is like everyone really gets behind me and people really support me, and I'm just kind of blown away, man. And a lot of people get a lot of hate on Twitter, but like you said before, like I get something here and there, but really for the most part, I get so much love and kindness, and it just makes me want to fucking like fight for the community and do as best I can, and like I don't know, man, it puts your soul on fire in a really good way. And
You're a good guy, man. You're you know what it is? Honestly, you're a good dude, man. You are, man. I've never heard anything bad. I have never heard, honestly, anybody say anything bad about you.
thank you.
Whatever circle I've been in, nobody's ever said anything. I remember. I don't know who I told yesterday. I was like, "Hey, I'm bringing on Keith." Oh shit, that's dope. Like I didn't hear nothing like, "Oh man, you know you've done right, man." Where people that don't sit at your table are talking good about you. So I really hope, I pray for you that you get your fight. I'm close friends. He's a part of the company, but I'm close friends with OJ Osborne, and he's in the UFC.
Okay.
Uh, Great
Oh,
fighter,
what was his first name?
OJ.
OJ. Okay.
If you've seen him, like he's great, and I really do believe in my heart he'll win. He'll win the championship. I believe that wholeheartedly.
I like
But
that.
he's like one of the nicest guys you can ever meet, man. Like there's so many really cool guys in the fight game. Like obviously you guys go into the ring and like you're about that life. You got to go ahead and handle business. I get it, but like most of the guys that I speak to, and especially from the UFC, like you guys are like so fucking cool and down to earth. Or anybody in the fight game in general is just like so cool down to earth. Maybe one guy was a fucking complete prick, but everybody else was like just super humble and like loves to talk about the fight game and their beginnings and shit like that, and that's cool. So I'm happy to see you going on that upward trajectory to go ahead and win. That's what I'm happy to go ahead and see.
Yeah, it's cool because it's like it's really all the things I really love. I get to mix it all in and do it. And I've been traveling and going around with this crypto event. It's Crypto Fight Night, and it's cool. It's cool, man. I really have no complaints about life. I'm so grateful, and I think fighters are humble because a lot of us have like kicked each other's asses in the gym, and like we've just like you get all that like anger out, you know. Yeah, yeah. I think
Keep doing your thing, Keith. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for telling me why the billboard is up there. I hope that your NFT collection continues to do absolutely fucking phenomenal. And
Yeah,
like,
but I want to give you one. I want to send you one. I want to send you a cool one.
hey man, no problem. No problem at all, man.
Oh yeah.
I accept gifts, and that
Yeah.
doesn't make you a grifter. I'll accept a gift from a friend. So
I've known you for a while, bro. You're very successful. You're like one of the biggest names in the space, man. This is like I'm on CNN with crypto right now. It's fucking cool.
stop. At least they didn't call me Mandani, man. I appreciate Keith, man.
CNN. I don't want to badmouth you.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Listen, listen. Everybody's been saying that. Everybody who's been coming onto the show, they're like, "Man, you dressed up, man," and I didn't dress. Like it's fun. Whatever, man. I just what it is. Anything that I do, just like you in the fight game, I just take it super seriously, man. Like I come on here. My mindset is I want to be number one. Not I want to. I will be number one. And like you're gonna have it's healthy competition. I wish nobody any bad luck, but
Yeah.
or I don't wish anybody to fail. But like I know my destiny, and I'm going to go ahead and accomplish a lot of things, man. I'm just getting started, man.
And dude, just to mention, I've heard a lot of your spaces. I listened in. Dude, you're fucking motivating. I've listened to you and I've ran like 6 miles, and you have that really cool like my grandpa's from New York, so it has like that East Coast vibe, and I'm like, yeah, you just motivate the shit out of me. You inspire people, man. So keep doing your thing, and yeah, I love it, man. I want to support
I
you.
hope so, man. I hope so. I hope so. You know what? Like anybody but you know what? You can get motivated for a day or two. You need to be determined and driven, man. At the end, if you don't have those two things in you, you're so fucked. Like
Yeah.
like you won't win shit in life. Like If you need to continuously, you know what kind of people I hate, Keith? That they turn on, they can listen to me, or they can, but like if you listen to Goggins and motherfuckers like that, right?
Yeah.
You can get motivated, right? You can listen to this shit, but if you don't apply it, then like you ain't about that life. You ain't about shit. Like to me, it's like, bro, you got one life to live. Just fucking do it, man. Like just go out there and give it your all. I guarantee you, man. Like the universe works in weird ways, man. That the universe will present you a lot of opportunities if you just put the fucking effort in. That's it. That's all you need. You know, you're going at. I'm watching you and I admire you. I'm telling you this right now. I'm not saying this just to blow smoke up your ass because you know I'm from New York. We don't blow smoke up anybody's ass. I see you every month fighting a new person. I'm like, man, Keith is really about fighting and not just one or two fights. I felt like, yo, you want to be known as like, yo, I'm the guy that you gotta beat in order to get a name up in this motherfucker. That's how I'm feeling when I see you on a new card or a new poster for whether it's CFN or IFC, whatever it is.
Mm.
You're putting in the fucking work. That's all, honestly, putting in 1,000%, running through walls and showing up. Listen, I'd rather lose than live with any of these fucking regrets when I'm 80 years old saying, man, I wish I would have trained. I wish I would have ran. I wish I would have walked. I wish I would have ate healthy. I wish I would have trained. Like all that. I'm not living my life or ending my life with any regrets. So I respect the fuck out of you, Keith.
Thank you.
Mutual respect, man. I ain't fighting you though, man. I will fight with you, but I ain't fighting with you. I ain't fighting
I don't
against
want
you.
to fight everyone either. Everyone's always saying that, like, hey, we're gonna get Keith to fight you. Oh, Keith's gonna do this. I'm like, bro, I'm a chill guy. I want to fight for money in a ring against another guy that was prepared to fight me. I don't want to just beat up some randos and just to be a bully. Like, I'm not like that at all. I'm very like, I do believe in like martial arts just for like anyone. I think it's good for kids when they're younger.
Right.
I think it teaches them discipline. And all in all, I'm a martial artist and I think that's like a protector. And I'm just trying to be cool with everyone. And I try to have my manners. I try to be polite. And yeah, I feel like when I was young, I was like a fucker. Like I was very cocky and I got in a lot of street fights and I had a big ego. But I've got my ass kicked. I'm old enough. My ego's dwindled down. It's still there.
Yeah, I don't hear no ego from you right now. Everybody has an ego, but you sound like, yo, you wouldn't know it, but like he'd whip your ass, like kind of like, hey, just like he's too quiet, man. You stay away from the quiet ones. Just stay away from the quiet people, man.
Yeah.
Quiet people always leave you toothless and shit, man. But I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I hope you win, and I really do hope that, I don't know. Maybe it's Andrew Tate next. Who the fuck knows?
Dude, I'm staying in really good shape. So if I have to take a last minute fight, that's what it's going to be. They want me to be on the B side, like way down on the B side. With fighting, they always call it the A side of the B side. The A side has all the advantages and the B side has all the disadvantages. So, yeah, I'll come in as the B side and then upset somebody. And that's my way in, That's why I'm staying active. And this is going to be my 6th fight this year. So
that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, I know I wasn't bugging out. Every single time I look down the timeline, it's like a new poster of you fighting somebody. It's just wild. But yeah. I wish you nothing but success. I hope you kill it, and I hope you get what you want. That one fight that gives you that million, and gives you some recognition too, so you can do more good outside of this space too. Because you seem like that type of guy. So
yeah.
Keith, much respect, man.
Thank you.
And I'll definitely link up with you. I'll shoot you a DM about. I want to know more about your projects. I'll shoot you a DM.
I want to send you a push link. You got to send me the ETH address and then get you hooked up.
Appreciate you, bro. I hope you have a great fucking day, bro.
You as well, man. I'm gonna go train. Thank you so much for your time. And man, it's an honor. It's an honor for real.
Honor on my side as well, man. That's Keith. Keith, go follow NFT Kid, man, on X. Go follow him. Give him a follow. Go root him on, man. That is Keith. Honestly, I know Keith from. I'm telling you, man. There's only a few people out here in these streets that can literally say like I've watched been here for so long. I've watched people get called out for like bullshit and shit. Keith is like just like super positive on all his fucking posts. At least I haven't seen him go after anybody. And I haven't seen people really go after him. And I watched the timeline, so it's just like it's cool to see. And I hope he gets his dream fight. I really do hope he gets his street fight. That would be really cool. Get that $1 million. Let's hope Keith gets that $1 million fight. That $1 million purse. You know, UFC, man, you got to do better, man. All these organizations got to do better. I understand they got bills to pay and shit, man, but I think they got to do better, man. They got to do better. I really do, man. Got to pay fighters a lot better, man. Anyway, we'll be back right after this commercial break. We got OSF coming on at 3 p.m. Wow, I gave that whole speech on mute. I gave that whole speech on goddamn mute. Well, I'm back here, episode 627. I was talking, okay, I was doing the voiceover on Gemini's commercial, and unbeknownst to me, I'm on mute. Yes, absolutely, I'm on mute. And I'm fucking talking. I'm giving like a Gettysburg speech about Gemini, how great they are, the things that they're doing, and nobody hears me. That is my Jewish luck, man. Of course, that is my Jewish luck. Let's look at the markets. That's right. Let's look at the markets, shall we? Let's look at the markets. We got basically $90,000 Bitcoin. Ethereum is over 3,000. We got XRP at $2.23. BNB is at almost at $900. You got Solana at 144. What else do we got here? Dogecoin 15 cents. ADA is at 43 cents. Tron is still at 27 cents. I don't know how Tron is over on Cardano, but it is what it is. That's the life we live. Wow. We will be joined by OSF, the founder of Rect. Okay. We'll be joined by him at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right. We'll go and we'll talk about that project. I saw some I saw them holding a bunch of bottles. I don't know what it is. I gotta ask them. I don't know if that's water, if that's some sort of soda or energy drink, but we will find out. People are like, yo, didn't you not look it up? No, I want to hear it from the founder's mouth. I want the founder to tell me what's up and what time it is and what it's all about, man. That's the beauty of it, man. For me personally, will I look into things? Yes. But I like to hear the founders break down the items and the protocols and the shit that they're building out. I don't like to read about it from third parties. I like them personally to come onto the show and us having a conversation. You know how it goes. The number one show out here. Number one, uno. We had Peter on yesterday. Peter wore me out, man. No Diddy, no baby oil, man. But he definitely wore me out, man. It was a good conversation, though. I enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed Peter Schiff on the program. Enjoyed Hunter being on the program from Bitwise. Hunter was on. And he said what I've been feeling the entire time, that there is no cycle. I love you. Okay? There is no. I'm paraphrasing, but I'm also talking about how I feel. There is no cycle. There is absolutely no cycle. Okay. Everybody who told you to pack up and leave, go look and go try to find them. Half of them are broke right now, and I know this, and it hurts them when I say this because they lurk in my chat, but they are broke as hell because they were playing on leverage. They are praying to the gods that all this stuff goes back, because if it doesn't, they are so fucked. They are so fucked. The bills are due, baby. The bills are due. You don't get... Here's my advice to you guys. Don't get smarter than the markets. Don't think that you're smarter. Don't outsmart the markets. The markets have a way to humble asses out here. The market has a way to take a belt to ass. I'm telling you, man. Listen to what I'm saying. The market has a way of taking a belt to ass, okay? Period. They will humble you. The markets will humble you. Hopefully, you're the type of person that once you're humbled, you have a different perspective on life in general and on the markets. And that when you come back into this motherfucker, you play it right. All right? I'm just saying. Humble yourself. It's good to humble yourself. Some people needed humbling, and I was happy to see it. Absolutely. 100%. This is Petty Dave. Make sure you know this. Petty Dave comes along with this 2016 version. I promise you. There is no holding back. I could care fucking less. And that's for the motherfuckers that stay here and lurk. My haters lurk. I know you're in here. I know you're in here. And I know you hate the fact that I am saying this right now. It is irritating you. I'm going to bring you right out of the motherfucking chat. I'm going to hurt your feelings so bad, you'll be out of this goddamn chat talking. You ain't going to be lurking. You're going to be talking. Okay? And for those who have listened, like I said, this is not if you are trying to hang out with the cool kids, you're going to lose. I'm telling you right now, trying to sit at the same table as the cool kids is not going to work out for you. Okay? You don't want to sit at the same table with the cool kids. You want to sit back and take notes and understand what is happening within this industry, and then when you're making that final decision to go into something, you want to make sure that you've done absolutely all your motherfucking homework before you go in. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure that your ass used ChatGPT and Grok and DeepSeek and whatever else, whatever LLM that is out there to help you understand all the notes that you've written down, okay, to help you out a little bit. Talk to some people as well. Take all this value, and then before you press buy, before you press that button, you understand what you're about to go ahead and do. That's really it. I already told you guys how simple this is. You need to acquire as much Bitcoin as possible. Now, a lot of you guys, I know what you did. I know what a lot of people did in this industry, because what you try to do is map out what happened last cycle and apply it to this cycle. I commend you, but you read everything wrong because you miscalculated that you have major players in the game now. That's what happened. You miscalculated, and that's fine. That's fine. Okay. What you did was you took everything from last cycle and you try to apply it to this cycle. What you did was you said, last cycle, I did not take out my Bitcoin and Ethereum and put it into the alts. So I'm going to do that this cycle. And you did it this cycle, and nothing has happened except Bitcoin going up, and yet you're stuck in assets that haven't moved. Now you're wondering, a lot of you guys got impatient and you started chasing, and now you're broken and broke. Now you are one of the 42 million people on Snap. 100%. You broke yourself. A lot of people who were in profit started chasing because they were greedy, and they went ahead and had the whole deck of cards collapse on them. Patience. Spot, buy, hold. That's it. DCA. DCA is your best friend. You will win big if you just continue to DCA. That's all you have to do. That is all that you have to do. How many times my videos are out there, there are clips out there where I'm talking about you become what you surround yourself with. That's it. It's bottom line. You become what you surround yourself with. You surround yourself with dog shit, you become dog shit. You smell like dog shit. Your wallet looks like dog shit, right? You surround yourself with millionaires, you become a millionaire. Not because somebody gave you money, but because you're surrounded by wealth, and that will drive you to become a millionaire. You have a better chance, a better opportunity to succeed because you're networking around a bunch of successful people. You surround yourself around billionaires, you will become a billionaire, okay? You will get access to those networks, and you will become somebody, or you will have a chance to become a billionaire. All I'm saying is you are what you eat, right? Whatever you eat, right? And I said this yesterday, whatever you eat, not more than likely, but the shitty ass food that you eat, you look like it. Can't even put your pants on, your belly's hanging over your underwears. Like a lot of these things, man. Eat healthy, exercise, man, you look fit, you look good, you're strong internally as well, man, you're fit, you're healthy, right? Getting the right amount of sleep, all this stuff. Very important. A lot of you guys think I'm a trench 24/7. That's bad. Yeah, you're gonna miss something. You might miss something being 24/7. A lot of you guys don't understand this. You think you're gonna stay up 24/7, you're gonna catch it. You might not catch it because you're so tired. You are running on no sleep that you're going to miss things. You're not operating correctly. You're just not. You're not focused. You can't focus. Your brain hasn't had enough time to fucking recalibrate, man. Hasn't had enough time to fucking heal. You're out here 24/7 rocking out thinking that you're going to hit the next lick, the next Pepe, Wojak, whatever you want to fucking talk about. Okay? You think you're going to hit it? You're not. The people that hit these damn it, damn it. The battery became exhausted. All right, hold on 1 second. Damn it. Knew that would happen. Knew that would happen with the new camera. Knew that would happen. Let's see if I can fix it now. Let's see if I can fix it. Let's see. Battery. Of course the batteries. Of course. We are live on the breakdown right now. Oh my god, this battery is so fucking battery fire. Battery better not be exhausted now. There you go. My own producer. I'm my own producer. Thank God I have batteries. I have batteries. That's right. I have batteries. So we can continue on. Welcome to the breakdown. Episode 627. But now I know. By the way, I'm using, shout out to Sony. You should pay me for this plug, but I'm using the Sony A7. I use the 7V10. The 7V10 camera is so much, to me, I think it's so much better for streaming. But the A7 can stream, and it's a good camera to stream with. But it does overheat if you're not using a dummy battery. So like that's the only problem with this camera. That is the only problem with this motherfucking camera. I am teaching all those that create content. You're welcome. I am teaching you today about content creation. Okay? I am teaching you today about content creation. I didn't expect it to work this long. I really didn't. I didn't actually expect it. I didn't expect it to work this long. I'm getting like so many messages, by the way. I'm getting so many messages. Let's see. What are these messages that are popping off? What are these messages? Damn. There are so many. I got to tell you, man, I'm so humbled, by the way, because there are so many people that want to come onto the show. They want to be on this show now. 5 weeks in. This is the 5th week of the rebrand. And there are so many people that want to come onto the show. And that is so fucking dope. It really is. It's dope to see that people are just trying to showcase their brand on their show. But like, I'm just trying to bring on the most notable people that I want to talk to personally and talk to them about crypto, obviously, and politics. That is really the game here for the breakdown, the show, the breakdown, is to talk about these very topics. That's right. These are the topics that I want to go ahead and touch on. I want to talk about Bitcoin, especially after yesterday with Peter Schiff being on. And Peter, there are a lot of people like Peter Schiff. I think if Peter Schiff was surrounded by the right people in Bitcoin, he would have took a better liking to it. I think, number one, I really do believe this about Peter Schiff. I think he's a great guy. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I think he's a great guy. I don't think he's playing a role. I sat back and I watched the tape. I don't think Peter Schiff is playing a role. I really do believe he would have bought Bitcoin, but he would have sold it. His passion is gold. I disagree with him about Michael Saylor because I think Michael Saylor is the same way when it comes to Bitcoin. I think Michael Saylor is very passionate about Bitcoin. He believes in Bitcoin. He believes in what Bitcoin can accomplish. So I don't think that, I don't believe Michael Saylor is trying to sell anything to anybody. I really don't believe that is the goal for Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor just wants everybody to know how important Bitcoin is. People, Schiff asked me during the interview, do you think it's cool for, Saylor to talk about, mortgaging houses to acquire more Bitcoin, stuff like, look, I think people should come to their own conclusion. I don't think anybody should be influenced by anybody into making any sorts of decisions. I can sit back and listen to anybody talk and chop it up here, but I'm not going to make my final decision based on your opinions respectfully. You guys can be the smartest people in the world. Okay. But I am going to ultimately make that decision because I'm going to have to own that decision. You guys are not going to own it. You guys might tell me go buy Bitcoin, but Bitcoin goes down to 50. You guys aren't going to be nowhere to be, nowhere to be found. And I got to go ahead and pay the bills. At the end of the day, when you guys say, well, this person went ahead and made me buy something, nobody made you buy something. Greed made you buy something. You got greedy. And when you lost, you decided to blame a person who just had a louder platform than you do. That's the problem that you have in this particular space. And when I mean this space on X, because if you go anywhere else besides X, if you go on Instagram, if you go on TikTok, we are live on TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. We are coming to Facebook and Instagram. We are working on it, so stay tuned. But right now, you guys blaming somebody? Blame yourself. You're the problem. You're fucking greedy. I don't blame nobody. I got fucking rugged multiple times. I don't blame a goddamn person. You know why? Because ultimately, I fucking pushed the button. It's me. It's on me. When do I, as a fucking man, take responsibility? It's me. I fucking pressed buy. I should have done more research, or I knew what I was stepping into. I knew what the fuck I was going into. I have myself and myself to blame only. You'll start winning in life. Forget about crypto. You'll start winning more in life when you start taking accountability, okay, for your own actions. Stop blaming others for your actions, okay? When you fuck up, take responsibility. Watch what happens. A lot of you guys don't want to take this responsibility on. A lot of you guys want to say, and I hate KOLs. And what I mean by that is I really despise the title, the logo, KOL, okay, and influencer. I think it's a crock of shit in this space, okay? I despise them more than you do. But you can't blame the KOLs or influencers for influencing you to go into dog shit. They didn't put a gun to your head. They didn't take your arm, okay, and pull you to your keyboard and make you press the buy button. No, you did. You did because you're fucking greedy. You're absolutely fucking greedy. Your greed gets the best of you. That's the problem. And then the infighting. The infighting in this space, you think you're gonna just because you cut another motherfucker's legs off, you think that's going to actually help your case? No, nobody wants to come in here and watch people fight. You think multimillionaires are coming into X, seeing you guys find on the timeline, ripping somebody apart, getting personal? You think that they're, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to invest into that guy. No. They're staying away. They're going into ETFs. They're avoiding your ass. KOLs and influencers are mad right now because you're not getting paid. That's the problem. You guys ain't getting paid like it was last cycle and the cycle before. Retail ain't here. That's the problem, and you don't know how to trade. Welcome to the breakdown. That's the truth. Everything that I just told you is 100% factual. Your favorite personality is broke because they can't trade. They never traded. They don't have money no more. They spent their money on bullshit. They can't sell that bullshit. Now they're fucking stuck. I'm telling you, I see it. I sit back and I observe and I watch. I watch. There's only a select few people here that know what the fuck they're doing. By the way, you don't need to trade in order to be successful here. Spot buy, DCA, and hold. That's all you need to do. You don't need to learn this. You didn't need to go to school to learn this. I am telling you right now, the way to win, especially against institutional players and all the special quants out here and market makers, spot buy, DCA, hold. And I'm talking about real assets. And listen, I think there are real fucking assets or collectibles in the meme economy. You can also get yourself up on Dogecoin, on Pengu, on Pepe. I'll name them all out. Level up there. And just sit back. Stop chasing. Stop fucking chasing. Get behind real communities, man. And yes, I'm going to say it. You know what? Rage Guy, ticker Rage, their community has shown up no matter what the fucking market cap is. And that community continues to grow. And by the way, lessons should be learned. They're growing nonstop on TikTok. You guys think it's all about X. That's your fucking problem. You think that the world rotates and revolves around fucking X. It doesn't. X being Twitter. It doesn't no more. People are on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok. People are visual now. They're not here. They're not a part of this toxicity bullshit. No. They're over there. They're on TikTok. I saw yesterday a stream with over 120,000 likes. You lost the plot. That's what you did. You lost the plot. You think everything revolves around X. X is great, man. I built my platform on X. I love X, formerly known as Twitter. Okay? Been here for a long time. Love it. But it doesn't end here. You got to branch out. I come from Web 2. Okay? So you got to branch out. You got to be on Facebook, got to be on Instagram. You got a product to sell. You got to be on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Okay? You got to expand. You guys are like stuck in these fucking echo chambers, and that's why you broke. Honestly, you're not building here. And if you are, and you're just focused on X, nobody's seeing shit, man. Nobody's seeing nothing. You got to fire everybody. If you hired people, if you have a bunch of people that you've hired up that are doing marketing for you, and they're only doing it here, one of the platforms that we're streaming on, X, the only marketing on X, fire them all. Fire them all. Listen to me, man. Fire them all if they're only focused on X. Do you know how many people on TikTok? I got a huge account on TikTok. Do you know how many people are on TikTok? If you have the right content, do you understand? Not only will you make money on the product that you're selling, but you're gonna make money on the content. Like, you don't get it. Fire your marketing department immediately. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 627. I only say this because I care about you guys, man. If you've been rocking with me since 16, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. I care about you guys. I really do. I care about y'all. I see the mistakes that you guys are making, but you're making them. You've made repeated mistakes. You can't be making these kind of mistakes. It's time. It's time to fucking free your bloodline, man. You're the guy or the woman that was sent here to go ahead and lift that curse off your bloodline. What the fuck are you doing? How are you not taking advantage of this space, man? In a good way. Let me make sure I word it correctly so I don't get clipped up and people say, hey, take advantage of it. How are you not seizing the opportunity here in crypto? You are first to market. You have no competition. Even if somebody's doing the same thing as you, there is no competition. That's healthy competition. There is no competition. You can actually work with that person. There is nobody here really building. There's nobody building here. Take advantage of being first. It's frustrating to see you guys not. I see a lot of you motherfuckers. You're talented, but you waste your talents talking about some fuckery, man. Some absolute goddamn dog shit. Nobody's interested in that. Think Warren Buffett would ever entertain going into one of the spaces here? I've listened to some of these spaces, bro. Dog shit spaces. No value. I couldn't notate one piece of fucking value on my goddamn notepad. Not a single piece of value. And the sad part is the people that are building, the builders in this space that are building, they have a hard time getting the visibility because you guys are running and chasing after shiny toys that lead to absolute bankruptcy. That's why I only bring on people that are building here. You'll never see me bring on people that don't build here. I will never give nobody a fucking platform that isn't building. If you're extracting, you can go fuck yourself and you can run off a fucking cliff. I can care less. But if you're building something interesting, I'm here for it. And there's a lot of good ones that don't get a fucking platform. That's changing now. That's changing. Anyway. I don't know what happened just now. You know that if you've been following me, you know that happens. I just go on a tangent. Passionate, man. I love this space. Speaking of loving this space, let's bring him in. OSF has been in the background waiting. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
I'm happy that you're joining me here. Listen, I kept this show open, I should say. I don't know why I said space, but I kept it open because I wanted to get you on because I see you building out here. And I also have a shitload of your community members in my DMs saying, when? So here you go. It's here. So congratulations. Thank you for coming on the show, man. I'm happy. What are you building? Let's get right to it. What are you building, Rec?
Yeah, for sure. So look, the Rect community, which you've now interfaced with, has been around for a long time. We've been around for about 4 years. It started out as an NFT project of my artwork. We gave the entire thing away for free. It was a free mint, didn't charge anything up front for it. We grew a very strong community over the course of the 2 years. And then we used the Rect IP that we built over that time to launch drinks. So I have these drinks behind me, Rect drinks. We launched them about a year ago. We've since sold just over 1 million cans, purely D2C directly from our website. And we have our Rect coin, which is the brand token that underpins the entire ecosystem. We've given a lot away to our community since we started. Free mint to begin with. Rect coin was a free airdrop for our community. We gave away free equity in the company, Rect Brands Inc., to our community as well. And now we're out here building, the first crypto CPG company.
That's dope. All right. Where did the idea of doing sparkling water come from?
Man, the biggest inspiration for me was what Luca did with Pudgy Penguins and using Web3 native IP to actually create a real world business. Because my view is crypto allows you to create IP, community, brand in a very accelerated fashion. Where most crypto and NFT projects have failed is that they've just done more NFT stuff. It's like, oh, hey, we have this great NFT project. Let's now go and sell you some more fucking NFTs. And guess what happens in the next, 2 or 3 times of doing it? They all go to zero because there's too many of them, right? He was smart in pivoting that IP to a real world business that a normal person can understand. And we wanted to do the same thing. I was like, okay, this idea of Rect as a brand, as a concept, or as an IP is clearly very powerful. So many people understand it, resonate with it, feel with it. Everyone understands and knows what it means to get wrecked, right? So it's like, how do we apply that to a real world business that's not just crypto? And for us, drinks was just the obvious thing. The Rect guy, original NFTs is the guy holding a drink. We wanted it to be universal. So the idea was okay, let's not make it so it's a hat where only some people might wear it and others may not wear. Let's just make it universal so we can capture and cast a very wide net. With drinks, cheap to manufacture, you can mass produce them, send them out for free to tons of events, different people. We should definitely send you some, David, as well. And it's free marketing. It's free marketing and people love it. And that was the main idea behind it.
All right. And I fuck with that because I had Luca on the show and I was telling Luca he's done a phenomenal job and people should appreciate what he's done. If you're smart, so you just said something, you take the blueprint, right? And you apply it to the things that you want to build out, right? In your case, sparkling water, you wanted to build that out, right? That's dope. A lot of people don't tend to do that. They tend to open up a space and say, you know what? Fuck it. Let's shit on people that are actually building out here and tear them apart. And I remember there were 19 spaces open on Luca, just shitting on him, pass, whatever.
Yep.
But they weren't acknowledging what he was doing. He took $2.5 million out of his own pocket, put it into Penguins, and took a bet on himself. And I fuck with people that do that. For me personally, when you're taking money out of your own pocket and you're betting on yourself, that it's an amazing feeling, especially when you start winning. So let's talk about winning. Where do you stand now with the Rect brand?
Yeah, look, I think we've achieved all our targets this year. We wanted to go out there, try and sell 1 million drinks within the space of 1 year without any spend on traditional marketing, without any traditional distribution or supermarket placements and that kind of stuff. And it was really just to show how powerful the community and the underlying brand and movement behind it is. And so now that we've achieved that, the next step, in my opinion, is to get it out there to the masses. Let's break away from this crypto circle jerk thing that we have. Let's get it so like the average person knows and has heard of Rect or understands what it is and understands that, you know, like I think the way that it works for us is when you buy these drinks, you actually claim some of the Rect coins. So it's kind of like drink to earn, if you like it. You know, I hate using that term, but it kind of is. But it solves problems in the fact that, you know, think about loyalty points today, right? You get loyalty points, there's unlimited supply, the company decides what to do with them, and you can't redeem them for real money. You only redeem them for things in kind, like, oh, hey, here's air miles. You can, you know, after you get billions of them, you can maybe buy one shit flight that you can take on the 3 a.m. on a fucking Sunday. You know what I mean? So, whereas with this, like, cool, like I supported the brand really early on. I've earned this Rect coin. And if I hold on to it and the brand does really well, the coin goes up in value. And, you know, we're up, our token is up, you know, something like 15x from when we launched it roughly a year ago, because the brand has done well and people resonate with it and want to hold it. So there's a lot of different angles here that I think we have that are very interesting. And there's been so many consume to earn type projects in crypto. Like you've been around for a while, David, and you're not new to them, but most of them have failed because they start off with token first, consume to earn first, and then naturally people come and they just want to flip it. We were community first. Our community had existed for 4 years before we even thought about launching a token. So that way, the people that earn it, they actually want to hold it because they're like, you know what, like, sure, I could sell it, you know, make a few bucks here and there, but I actually want to hold it because I feel like I'm part of a movement. I feel like I'm part of something, and I've been through this roller coaster, and I've been through this entire Rect journey for the last 4 years when we've had the craziness of 2021, the blow-ups of 22, 23, the craziness of 24, shit's getting crazier now. You know, like people feel like they're part of something and they want to hold on to it. And that's, I think, the difference that we have versus other consume to earn type projects.
You know, I was going to ask you a question and you answered it during it's fucked up. I was like, man, I was about to hit you with something. But by the way, episode 627, the breakdown sponsored by Gemini, of course. We're going overtime. I waited. I did this on purpose. I said 3 o'clock. I'm getting this man on. That's what I said.
Appreciate that.
I had people tell me like, yo, man, I don't know if we can fit this in this. I said, fit that shit into the schedule because his people are in my fucking DMs. The community's in there. I want to speak to him. And before we go back into the business part, bro, congratulations on winning that fight. I know it was like what, a year or two. What was it, 2 years ago?
2 years ago now, man. 2 years ago. Yeah.
So you're winning everywhere, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that myself, but yeah, I'm competitive. I like to win. You know, I don't want to. Anything I do, I go out to win it. Yeah, there's no such thing as second place for me. So.
No such thing as second place. I love to hear it. All right. What do you look at the market cap? Like my biggest thing when I asked Luca the same thing. Are you focused on the market cap? Or are you focused on, okay, look, that market cap, okay, I can look at it once or twice, but like I'm focused on the mission that I've wrote out here. I'm looking at what needs to be done better here. Who do I need to contact? How do I, and I like the fact that you just, and this was my question, getting out of this bubble, right? This circle jerk, you know, of the same people, respectfully, if you're talking to the same people every single day, you're really not branching out. Like now it's about how can I get people to walk around with a Rect brand outside in the Web 2 world, right? What are you doing to get that done? Like what is the strategy? Well, you don't have to fucking give it away, but what are you doing to get that implemented?
Yeah.
Besides
absolutely.
getting into stores and stuff, like what are you doing specifically?
Yeah,
what
definitely.
are you focused on?
Stores, Amazon, all that kind of stuff. That's happening. That's underway. We've already launched in 200 stores in the Midwest. The second thing is we're branching out into different sports categories. We're also going to have energy drinks, by the way, and energy powders that are coming out next year. So we are a shirt sponsor of FaZe Esports. They have an audience of something like 290, 300 million people within the esports space. If you go into the FaZe Esports X account, Twitch account, YouTube account, they're currently at this tournament right now in Romania. The Rect brand is like logos literally everywhere. Even for me, I'm like, wow, that's pretty sick. Like it's like literally everywhere. And like on those live streams right now, there's 150K plus viewers, but when they get to the later stages of the tournament, it goes into the millions of viewers, right? And
Yeah.
these are all non-crypto people. These are esports people. So perfect target audience for when we have the energy product that comes out. And it's a brand new world for us, completely brand new space for us. We've done a lot of sponsorship and work in the golf space as well. We work very closely with a brand called in the UK called Manners, which is guys that made these hats. But we sponsored a couple of golf tournaments in the UK. We had celebrities like, I don't know if you're familiar with English football, soccer, but Ashley Cole, for example. Ashley Cole's one of the best English defenders of all time. We had him drinking a rec drink. It's on his socials, etc. We had a couple of comedians here as well. We're hosting a big golf tournament in Miami. We have
That's why you were golfing.
Yeah, I mean, the question
that video
is
where the ball went, like it's supposed to go straight, but went into the woods. That's why you were doing that promo, right?
Yeah, exactly. It didn't go straight into the woods. It curved around. It was an intentional slice.
Wait, that's interesting. So, like, where would you love to see the brand take off first, and what niche? Like, forget about crypto for a second. What niche, really? Like, if you could, which niche would it be?
You see, the thing.
You said gaming, and I'm thinking like gaming is big, man, and people like sleep on it, but gaming is huge.
Yeah, gaming is huge, but there's a couple of brands that have already sort of dominated that, like G Fuel, Ghost Energy, were massive, and they kind of made their names in the esports space. Extreme sports, we already know you have the Red Bulls and the Monsters of the world. So my thought is we can't really do the same thing. Like, I don't think I can be like, okay, let's get big into gaming or let's get big into extreme sports, because I'm competing with like some of these biggest guys, right? But pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the US. Golf is the second fastest growing sport, right? There isn't really a brand that's associated with any of those sports. And even though you say forget crypto is massive. There's hundreds of millions of crypto users across the world, and it's growing.
The reason why I say that respectfully is like you already have crypto.
I know.
Market, right? So
you're right. If
you can personally, your brand, like you as a personality in your brand, if you can't make it in crypto, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I know. You're right. But that I also think that can still be, as much as we need to and want to break out, and I've explained the steps we're taking to do that. If we're considered the crypto drink, I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. And that's what the traditional world views us as. Like, when we first reached out to people to call them up about like, hey, we're doing this thing, drinks, people were like, oh, crypto, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to hear it. Then what happened? President Trump got elected. The entire crypto landscape in the US changed. And we had the same guys calling us back saying, oh, hey, you guys are that crypto drink, right? Like, how are you doing? What's going on? How are you using crypto? So for us, my view is like, the first iteration of brands, brick and mortar, you go into a physical store, you buy a drink off the shelf. Second iteration, the internet, you go onto Amazon.com, buy something, comes to your home. Third iteration, social media. Oh, I'm seeing Logan Paul and KSI drinking Prime. I want to buy it. Fourth iteration is crypto and Web3. We are the first drinks company doing the fourth iteration within crypto. And even though our bubble is small, it's not about telling crypto guys with a crypto drink. It's about telling the non-crypto guys with a crypto drink. And those are the guys like, fuck, like, this is interesting. This is exciting. And, we are going to get stocked in more stores in the US, in Europe and other places. And 2 different stores have told me when Prime called them up, they missed out on Prime. They said, no, I don't get it. And they missed out, and they got into massive trouble because Prime was a huge success at the beginning. And their bosses told them, the next time you get one of these weird opportunities and you don't really get it, just go all in. Just say yes. And that's the feedback we had, and therefore we're getting some more stuff coming up in the next few weeks and months. But
man,
it's all about how you pitch it, who you pitch it to, and figuring out the strings you need to pull to get the right people excited.
If you're listening right now, this is what you guys want to invest into something. Not financial advice. I'm not even a financial advisor, so I don't need to fucking say that. It's like me saying this is not medical advice. Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't need to say any of this shit. But like, this is the type of shit you look to get yourself into. Like, I'm just saying, like, you're trying to get behind somebody who's doxed, who's out here. He got his plan. He knows how to execute it. I see people in the chat already, and my DMs are blowing up like, yo, Landy's saying I wasn't familiar with his game at all. I like that. I think, you know where this product would do really good?
Yeah, tell me.
MMA.
Yeah.
because right after like whatever happened, like especially somebody gets knocked out, like
Yep. You got
they're
wrecked.
drinking wrecked, like
Yeah.
it's just like that right there solidifies their win.
It's a
We're
good word,
here.
man. It's a good word. Wrecked is a good word.
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Like, look, uh, I think you definitely have. Look, everybody, especially these parties are great, right? These crypto parties are great. I'll say one thing: the parties, the conferences, a lot of these conferences are really good. Imagine the Rec brand just sitting right there, and then after 6 months, people start to recognize, okay, that's the brand. It's like it takes a while, but people start to recognize, okay, that brand, that's a good brand. Let me get some Rec. When you go to the bar, can you get me a can of Rec, please, man? I respect the hustle. Okay, what's the end goal for you? That's my last question to you. What is the end goal here for you? What's the plan here? Because
Yeah.
Luca told me his. So I ain't gonna tell you Luca's plan, but I'm guessing that you're gonna come close.
You know what? My end goal, people have different goals like, oh, I want to make a lot of money. I want to sell my company. My goal is I really do believe in crypto. And I think people have been one track minded in how it's been used. And I really want to show a good example of how crypto can be used in a very powerful way where you can make a great company, but you can also make your community and bring your community along with you and make them a lot of money. And my end goal for all of this is like, if in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, Rect Brands becomes this great case study of like, oh, look, this is how Ovi and his team used the idea of crypto, used the idea of liquid tokens, and they made this whole thing, and they ended up doing way better than a bunch of other brands. This is a really good use case of it. And that's my goal. And I think if I can achieve that goal, things like making money, the company doing really well, and all the stuff, they come along as a byproduct of it. But my goal is like, I want people to, in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, like I want to be at Harvard Business School doing a lecture on this is how I, made it with Rec Brands, like because people are interested to hear about that story. That's my goal, I would say.
Um, because I know you're busy. Before I let you go, when did you start this?
The entire journey started about 4 years ago, and the drink started 1 year ago.
Tell the audience, because there's a lot of people tuning in from TikTok and YouTube and even LinkedIn. The boomers, shout out to the boomers. How difficult was the journey for the last 4 years? Honestly speaking.
It's really tough. You have moments where you think, I'm crazy, this is a dumb idea, it's never going to work. And you have moments where you feel like, oh, this is the best idea in the world. And then when you try to put it into action, there are moments where I felt like, this isn't going to work, or I feel hopeless, or people are telling me this is a bad idea. Or, when we initially raised capital for it, like over 50% of people told me that this is a dumb idea, it will never work. And the only people who put money in were a very close community and like friends and family, right? So, and they were like, I'm only doing this because I know you. Otherwise, I still think it's a bad idea. So
I'll be out on this.
yeah. So
you even had friends and family that put money in.
I know. That's the toughest as well, because you don't want to. It's the best motivation because you don't want to lose those guys' money, right? But it's really tough, and I just think every time I found it tough, you just have to keep going. Just have to keep going. Find a solution. I always, when I hit a stumbling block or a hurdle, I force myself to like, okay, look, this is shit. I feel annoyed, and we've been through some tough times in the last few days and weeks. But just take a step back and think, right, like I can do this. I can fix it. I can figure out a solution. There is always, always, always a solution. You just need to figure out what it is, and you just need to take some chances. You have to take some chances. And so, anyone on this journey,
time that you said I'm quitting?
I've never ever been even close to quitting, because I've just grown up. Ever since I can remember, my dad's always told me, never give up, never give up. Like when I used to play sports against him, he'd beat me, say, never give up. You never know when, even if you're losing really badly, you never know when you might just come back, right? So that's been ingrained with me. That's part of our Rect culture. Like our motto is down bad, but never dead. It's like you can get wrecked really bad, or lose almost all your money, but you still have that one chip left to play, right? You still have that one chip left to play, and you can still bounce back from it. And the world has seen the most incredible comeback stories, the most incredible underdog stories, and they are the most favorite stories the world has. And that is the exact type of ideology and culture that we encompass within, the Rect brand.
Do you feel do you feel that I'm right when I say, and you can say I'm wrong?
Yeah.
Do you feel like I'm right when I say that it's so new here, still so new, that crypto is such a baby, that anybody has a chance to really develop an awesome product and a brand, and there really isn't any competition standing in your
Yeah.
way.
Yep, I was listening to what you were saying just before I came on, and I 100% agree. I think there are so many amazing, cool things you can do in crypto and really cool ideas, even ideas I have in my head that maybe one day I will do. And I just think if you can think a little bit outside of the box and not just do the same thing over and over again, don't just make another L1 or another L2. You know what I mean? Like there's some cool things you can do. I think we're doing something quite unique. And Pudgy Penguins was an inspiration for us, but then we started sort of taking our own path there as well. So there are things you can do, I think. And it's a really, really exciting space. It just requires some time, some thought, some patience, and most of all, determination. You really have to, you really have to be determined and push through the hard times.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man, you need to go follow this man. You need to go follow. I like your spirit. It's there, man.
Appreciate
A
that.
lot. I read bullshit quickly. I'm a New Yorker, man. But at the end of the day, uh, I can tell you're going to win here. Knock on wood. God bless. That everything is in your favor, but you're gonna win big. And if you win big, obviously your whole community. Who I like the fact that you said you were building that first,
Yep.
which you should. They're gonna win out big, as much as you're gonna win out here. And I hope that Rec is a big part of representing the space. I really do hope so. So, man, God bless you. Keep winning, man. And I hope to have you, even when you become a multi-billionaire, I hope to have you back on the show or on the podcast so we can sit one-on-one and chat it up. Not just on
Appreciate it.
product, but life itself and business.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks very much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure. I've been following you for a while, so it's nice to come on and do this. So appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Give them a follow. Give the brand a follow. You don't have to buy it. Just look into it, okay? You look into dog shit anyway, right? This ain't that. You heard the man speak. Have you heard the other developers or deployers speak? They can't even utter a sentence together, okay? Anyway, have a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. And thanks for coming on.
Cheers. Thank you.
That was OSF. I got him on. I don't want to hear it. You were in my DMs. I'm blown away. How about that? I never say shit like that. I never say things like that. I never say that I'm blown away. How many times do I say there are so many builders in this space with the right mindset that are building for the right reasons that you are missing out on? Like, you are missing out on incredible builders in this space. I believe that 100%. Let me go ahead and switch this up. I believe that 100% that you are missing out big time. Big time. Can you imagine if you went into Rect instead of Cal with a dick and eye going through the eye socket into the ear inu? Like, you imagine if you just Pudgy Penguins, Rect. Like, I can name a lot. Imagine I'm just gonna focus on things that have actual founders behind it, builders behind it, people that show up every day. I like the fact that he said he built the community first. Luca has the same mindset, built the community first. Even as a media personality and my brand, I'm building the community first. You guys don't even understand. If I showed you the process, you'd understand. I appreciate entrepreneurs big time. I appreciate every entrepreneur. I know what they're going through. I know what they go through every single day, man. I know what it feels like, man.
What? Give him the right to take Calvin's lifestyle.
I know what they go through. It's tough. Tough world, man. He's probably gonna get mad at me, by the way. I'm drinking mountains. I'm thirsty, man. Ain't nobody sent me a case of Rect. So, like, hey, you can't get mad at me. Can't get mad at me. Cannot get mad at me. Anyway, we'll be right back with the quote of the day to end this show. The breakdown. The number one crypto politic. Well, I'm going to say crypto. Okay, we're working on the political angle here. You know, I'm into politics. I don't have to tell you. You guys follow me, you know. But this will be a number one show about everything. Well, we'll be right back right after this commercial break. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, you are viewing a commercial from Gemini. Gemini sponsors this show, episode 627, The Breakdown. Go to gemini.com/David G to find out more about Gemini's lineup of credit cards. The Bitcoin credit card, the XRP credit card, and the Solana credit card all give you 4%, up to 4% back, issued by WebBank. Go check it out again. Gemini.com/David G. And also, click my link. Sign up to Gemini. If you have not signed up to Gemini, sign up. And if you have friends who haven't signed up, tell them to sign up immediately using my link. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. I'm back. I'm buying cases. What can I say, man? I respect the builders in the space. And as soon as I see somebody that's building, number one, humble, building, I can tell, I can see it. The Jewish business sense, that sense that I have, it starts. Man, that I hope he wins big. I hope he wins big. Well spoken, calm, articulate, knows how to articulate his product to an audience here that's watching. TikTok, whatever. I don't know where the fuck you guys are from. Now running down the whole lineup here. By the way, Facebook, Instagram in the works. I personally reached out to him. I didn't have no staff member reach out. When I went to the commercial break, I reached out. I said, this man's going to win big. And I don't say that a lot. You guys who know me, who follow me, know I do not. I will not. Like you really need to present something to me that blows me away. And like, honestly, the biggest thing that I look for is the person leading the charge. Okay. I invest into Luca, right? I'm like, because I believe in Luca. It's not that I don't believe in Pudgy Penguins. I believe in Luca. I know Luca is determined to win. Okay. I know that OSF, that dude is going to win. There are a lot of other people in this space that I know are going to win. And what you do is when you invest into people. You don't. It's not the product at first. It's the person. Is that person driven enough to go ahead and deliver on their vision? And I will. Do they got that dog in them? As we say in New York, I got that dog in them. Sounded like DMX just now. All right, quote of the day, man. Quote of the day. What a show. What a show. What a show today. Tomorrow we got a good show too. We got a good show tomorrow too, man. Every day we got a good show. Every day we got a good show. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, right? I think tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So. I'm excited that this show has taken off the way it has. Definitely excited. Definitely excited about where the show is heading. Excited about where the show is definitely heading. Let's go to the quote of the day. Quote of the day. Quote of the day. Ready? Here it goes. Most people only label themselves blessed when money is involved. If you're healthy, can breathe without pain, can move your body, think clearly, and wake up with another chance to grow, you're already beyond blessed. A healthy poor person often prays for money while someone wealthy and sick is praying to be healed. Health is a fortune the wealthy can't buy, and gratitude is the richest the poor often overlook. Thank you. I'm done. Thank you for tuning in. I stayed overtime because I wanted to get OSF on. Wanted to make it go ahead and work. We will be back. We will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Might be a short show just because of Thanksgiving. I don't know. We shall see. Next month, December, the show will be airing from 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because of the amount of people that want to come on to the show and chop it up about crypto, finance, tri-fi, politics. We have a lot of shit cooking, man. We have a lot of things cooking. Shout out to Gemini, the sponsor of the breakdown. The podcast is coming. I am sitting down with some dope ass individuals and I am excited. Might have a studio being built. I don't know. I'm just putting shit out there, okay? All I know is this, that 2026, every single time you go on to YouTube, TikTok, X, and you go into a video, the next swipe down will be a vision or a video of me talking. And at the end of the day, that is my goal, is to be the number one media personality out here. I don't give a fuck who's betting against me, who's with me, who's not. Don't matter. All I know is that I'm going to do everything possible to deliver value, and ain't shit that's going to stop me. We level up from here, boys. The staff and those who support me, we're about to level up, boys and girls. Let's fucking go. If you're looking to go ahead and contact me, Partnerships. I know a lot of you guys can't smell us as about. Well, let me not talk about partnerships at Gokhshtein.com. Partnerships at Gokhshtein.com. You can reach me there. If you send a DM, just know that it might take me or my staff a few days to get back to you. On that note, have a great day and an even better tomorrow, right, Akil? Is that how it goes? Have a great day. Wonderful day. Wonderful day. Wonderful day. And again, this broadcast was brought to you by Gemini. Go to Gemini.com/David G to look at the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer, issued by WebBank. That's right, issued by WebBank. Also, click on the link. Support this channel by clicking on the link. Sign up to Gemini, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. A lot of you guys need it. Again, the breakdown, episode 627. We will be back tomorrow with episode 628. Stay tuned. We got a good lineup of guests coming on mañana. And on that note, we are outie.